Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make professional business cards using your Silhouette Cameo. Let's get started. Okay, so I am on canva.com. For those of you who don't know what Canva is, it's basically a free design website that you can use to customize templates. You can also make designs from scratch. So Canva is a really great option if you're in a rush and you just want to create something that's very simple and you want to create it really quickly. Canva is a great option. So over in the search bar, before we do that, I just wanted to mention you will also need to create an account to use Canva if you don't already have one. So in the search bar, I am going to search for business cards. And then Canva will populate with a whole bunch of different templates. So you can, again, customize these templates. Some of them are paid templates. So some of the elements in the design you will need to pay for before you can download it. But there are a lot of templates that you can use that are free. Like this one over here, for example, beautiful business card, completely free. Okay, so I already have chosen the one that I'm going to use for today. So I'm just going to scroll down and there it is. So I'm going to be using this one today. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to click on customize this template. And once that opens up, you'll see that you'll be able to change all of these elements on the business card. So you can change the position, you can delete some elements if you don't want it. But I'm not going to do that for today's video. I'm just going to keep it really, really simple. I'm not going to edit anything, but you can definitely do that if you want to. So if you want to change the text, you can double click on that and then change it to whatever you want. So just for the sake of the video, I'm not really going to change anything, but I do want to copy this text over here. So I'm going to right click and just say copy. And then I'm going to paste it onto my second page. So this is set up as a double-sided business card, but I am only making a single-sided business card. So if you like the style of this, you can by all means use it if you want to. But I don't need this page over here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And then I'm just going to make sure that these elements, all these text boxes are aligned with one another. So the one way that you can do that is by using the guides on Canva. So you'll see there's a purple vertical line there, and that's basically telling you that that is centered to this second text box over here. Another way you could do it is hold down Shift on your keyboard, select your first block of text, hold down Shift, select the second block of text. You can come over to these three little dots over here and you can click on position, and then you can align them. You can align your elements over here, but it's already aligned to the center. So all I need to do now is align my text to my business card. So I'm just going to use the guides for that. And you can see again, vertical and horizontal purple lines. That is telling me that this is centered. So once you're done designing your business card, you can go ahead and click on share and you can download this to your computer. So I'm going to suggest using the JPG or PNG option. In Silhouette Studio, we are going to customize it. Well, not customize it, but we're going to change the size. So either a PNG or a JPG is fine. You can also download it in a PDF if you want to, but that's not necessary. So I'm just going to keep it on a PNG and then I'm going to click on download. And that is going to download it to my downloads folder on my computer. Okay, so now that that is done, we are ready to go on over into Silhouette Studio. Okay, so in Silhouette Studio, I need to set up the page for print and cut. So currently it is not set up. So I'm going to go over to the page setup panel. I'm not going to change my machine. I am using the Cameo 4. The cutting mat will stay the same. I'm using the 12 by 12 inch. And then the media size, I am going to change to an A4. So today I am using an A4 glossy cardboard that I got from my local Postnet. It's a local print shop. You can also get these from Cali Deck. I think it's called the Magno Silk and Glossy. You can purchase these types of papers from them. They are used to print business cards on. So it's a very, very nice paper. I would recommend using a 250 to 300 GSM paper for business cards. Okay, so I'm going to go to the registration marks little icon over here, and I'm going to turn on the registration marks. So we can exit out of the page setup panel, and now I am going to bring in the business card that I downloaded from Canva. So to do that, I'm going to click on File and then Merge, and I'm going to go to my Downloads folder over here, and I'm going to double click on the business card. Silhouette Studio will bring that in for me, and then I'm just going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. So typically a business card is about 90 by 50 millimeters. That's equivalent to 9 by 5 centimeters. And this is not that size. It's there, but not quite there. But that's okay. I'm not going to change this at the moment. I'm first going to create a bleed. A little crash course on bleed. Bleed is an area of your design that you want to be cut off in the production of your artwork. So to create the bleed, I am going to create a rectangular box using my shape tool. And before I go any further, I do want to make sure that my business card is set to no cut. So to do that, I'm going to go over to the send panel. Okay, and then I don't want my Cameo to cut this out. So I'm going to set that to no cut. And then we are going to be placing this rectangle over the business card, and I'll show you what I mean, where the bleed comes in and everything. So we do want the rectangle that I just drew to be cut. So we want the rectangle to cut. So let's go back to design. And now we can resize this to the correct size. So I want, seeing as though this part is going to be cut, I want that part, the rectangle I drew, to be 90 by 50 millimeters. And then because we're having a bleed typically is 3 millimeters, so we will have to make our actual business card a little bit bigger than the rectangle we just drew. So I'm going to give it a 3 millimeter bleed. So therefore I'll make it 93 millimeters by 53 millimeters. And then we can go ahead, select both of these objects and then align them to the center and middle. Is that right? Align to the center and to the middle. Yes. So there we have it. So around my design, you'll see that I have my bleed over here. I know that it's a little bit confusing, but it's really great to have a bleed so that you don't have white areas in your artwork. It's just, yeah, it's cool. So I wanted to add that in there. So this looks good to me. I am ready to fill my page with my business cards. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I am finished filling my page. So I managed to get about 7 business cards here. Always remember when you're doing print and cut, you don't want to be touching these crosshatch areas over here. And you also don't want to be touching the crosshatch area at the left-hand bottom corner here. Very important, otherwise your machine is not going to register and it's not going to cut in the correct place. Okay, so that is done. Now we can go ahead and print this out. So I'm going to click on File and then Print, and this will bring up the print preview window. Okay, we're going to go ahead and click on Print, and this will bring up my printer settings. So I'm using the Canon G3020. I'm going to click on Preferences. Okay, and then I want to change my media type. This is really important. I'm going to change it to photo paper plus glossy 2. And then the print quality I want set to high. The printer paper is fine. And then mine feeds from the rear tray. You can also change how many copies you want to make. For the sake of the video, I'm just going to make 1 copy. We're going to click OK, and then I'm going to click on print. This is what your page should look like once it's done printing. Okay, so for the cut settings, I am using the cardstock plain setting, and I've left everything at the default. The only thing that I've changed is my blade. So I'm going to set my blade to number 6. And I find that when I cut thick materials, the sweet spot for me is a blade of 6. And I typically don't change any of the other settings unless it's not cutting through, then I might just bump up the force. But number 6, a blade of 6 seems to be my sweet spot. If your blade is sharper, you can maybe get away with 5 or 4. But for cardstock, this should work perfectly fine. So you'll see I'm lining the cardstock up against where the grid starts, and this is important. If it's not straight, your Cameo will not cut correctly. With that being said, I think it's about time I get a new cutting mat. When I was filming, I couldn't believe how dirty my mat is, and it's also torn on top of that. So yeah, I think it's about time. So I'm loading my mat into my machine. Always make sure you have enough space at the back for the mat to pass through. The Cameo will begin registering and then we'll cut. And there you have it, a professional looking business card. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop out the rest of these cards, and then I'm going to show you that bleed area around my business cards. Bleed can be really helpful when you're creating artwork that has a lot of color. So I think it worked really well in the business cards I created today. So that pretty much wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I absolutely love making business cards, believe it or not, and these turned out really professional, and print and cut has to be one of my favorite things to do on my machine. I've said this like 5,000 times. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!